Well, welcome to my team F123 here in Saudi Arabia with Leigh Racing. We are just ahead of McLaren, Williams, Alfa Romeo, Haas, and Alfa Tauri on the development cycle. Can we buy anything? In fact, I don't think we can. We have insignificant funds. Can we do anything on the R&D? Let's find out. We'll do a rear downforce update. Lovely. And you can see we're arriving to Saudi Arabia 4th in both championships after a very successful round 1 here in Bahrain. In fact, it was quite a muddled up first race, with all things considered. It's looking like there's maybe a very, very, very low chance of rain coming towards the end of sessions. You see now leaving the box for the first time in qualifying 1. Let's see what we can do. Last time it was easily through Q1. Let's see if we can keep up the trend here in Saudi Arabia and keep up the performance we had underlying from Bahrain. Here we go, first lap here in Saudi Arabia, flying down the pit straight. Let's see what we can do. Losing the rear end of the brake into the final corner, costing us a bit of lap time. We go P2. Let's go. In the garage now, and with 4 minutes to go, we're still P7. I think we might risk it and stay in and save a set of tyres, possibly. Let's see what happens. A few seconds left on the clock. Where do we end up? We were P7 before the session ended, we must add. And we're P10 at the end of it. So indeed, our first run was more than good enough. Fernando Alonso not setting the time. Roy Nissany 1.6 seconds away. That's better. That's good. Our team is making progress. If Roy Nissany is not last, good. Beautiful exit. Run up to the line. Where do we go? First run in Q2. We are all the way up into P6. That's nice, that is. Right, here we go. Final run Q2. This will decide. Obvious statement, I know. If we can go through to Q3 or not. We've got to hook the lap together, fully committed around this high-speed street circuit of Saudi Arabia. No! We bottled it. We was pushing so hard, man. We were pushing so hard on the limit. We just got on the curb. Half a second down. We won't find any improvement from there. Now we wait. There we go. Confirmation up in P6. Considering we was already 2 temps up halfway through the first sector, and we're only 2.5 temps away from leading Q2. I think this is a good sign, you know. But let's go. Final run Q3. It is quite literally all or nothing. We have not got a lap time on the board so far. We've got good pace. Just need to make something of it. Super committed first sector. Even purple. Almost 3 temps up, let's go. Beautiful exit. Open up DRS. Could have been a bit closer to the wall, but overall the corner was very committed. final corner. Very composed. Very fast. Run up to the line. Where's it going to be? So as you can see, we're lining up P5 on the grid with a 26.3, only 3 tenths away from pole position of Max Verstappen. That last lap was sending it, to say the least. Here we go, race time. Let's get it. So starting P5, it looks like it's going to be a fairly simple, medium to hard strategy. But around Jeddah, anything can happen. Safety cars, red flags even. Let's see what can be awaiting us today in race. We're here on the grid. We've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights out. And away we go. Getting a fairly good start. Actually, better start than the car ahead of us. Going to the inside line. Early on the brakes. Don't want to get pinched on the apex too much. We're going to be 3 wide in this apex. Can we hang around the outside? Oh, we got on the curb. Straggled a little bit. We couldn't get around the outside of Sainz. Or Leclerc, I should say. But we got around the outside of Perez. Already up into P4. That is a pretty successful start so far. Now we just need to settle into this stint. Oh, rear's getting a bit squirmish on the cold tyres. We need to use battery. Perez all over the back of us. We're fighting cars that we shouldn't really be fighting. Putting our car massively higher on the grid than it really should be due to our qualifying performance. Remember, our teammate qualified P16. Let's see where we compare on the top speed compared to Leclerc. A little bit of understeer through there, but I'm going to say I prefer understeer through there than oversteer. Right. Have to be careful with both George Russell and Perez don't have a look at me into this final corner. Beautiful exit. Only half a second away from Charles. Can we get a podium today? The early inclination seems like it's possible. Be careful not to scrub the tyre in this early phase of this first sector. Use up all the curve. It's so satisfying in this game with the updated curbing. As I say, that had a big snap of oversteer. We are going to come under attack from Sergio Perez. We might just let him go here. Yeah, we're going to let him go. Okay, cheers, buddy. Maybe we're not going to let him go. Right, we've got a job on our hands to keep DRS from Leclerc now. Right, we're going to try and let Perez go again. I don't really want to spend time fighting him. Congrats, he makes the apex this time. We're trying to keep up, but they are absolutely flying up ahead of us. Oh, we had a bad run. George Russell looking to the outside. We have to hold this position. Deep on the brakes. The AI are so much better at attacking this year. They can really come out of nowhere. We tried everything in that corner. We're not going to get DRS. We're out of battery. This is going to look like a bit of a mugging, if I'm honest. We're going to hold the outside line. We actually made contact. Luckily not picking up damage though. We get DRS again. We got a bit of wheel spin as we was falling into the dirty air. George Russell. He's going to defend the inside. Lewis is looking at the outside. We're 3 wide. Let's contact the outside with Lewis. Can we hang around the outside of George? Yes, we can. Battling is really not helping our tyres, but it's great fun. There's not much we can do. We don't have DRS. Just hope Lewis doesn't come past. That's what's critical. Oh, that's dirty, yeah. Right, I'm happy for Lewis to come past right now. So then I can save some battery for later in the race. Are the Mercedes going to take each other out? Not quite. Right, not going to make that 3 wide. You can see they're fast though. They're almost already 1 second away. This battling going to bring me nicely back into play. Big snap oversteer. Our traction is really limited on this car. But we're 10 closer to Lewis. Well, Russell actually. Than we were last lap, right up against the wall. To be honest, the podium paying positions are not a million miles away right now. Right, they're battling up ahead. What can we do? Can we get in between them? Up the inside of Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, you can see taking a look backwards up the inside of Lewis Hamilton. And we just grazed the wall. So lightly. You can see up the inside of Lewis Hamilton. We just grazed the wall so lightly. Oh. Yeah, we decide to give the position back to Lewis. Ultimately, it was like a genuine mistake. But, yeah, Lewis, let's say, shouldn't be punished for my mistake of hitting the wall there. We're battling hard. We were both going for it. Just that little clip on the wall inside caught me out a little bit. We got quite a job to catch it back up to Russell, though. There's Lewis boxing. We're going to box opposite to Lewis. Why not? You know, coming towards the end of the lap, we still maintain the gap to Russell. This is positive. What maybe can be later in the race.
Pitting this lap then, coming to
Well,
the
this
pits
lap.
at the end of this lap.
Don't know where the pit lane line is. Just about got it stopped. Right, we're all going to hard tyres. Increasing the front wing by a few angles. Right, where's Lewis? There's Lewis. Right, Lewis has actually caught the DRS of George Russell. Hamilton actually sets the fastest lap of the race as well. 3.3 seconds to Russell over across the line. Right, Lewis Hamilton's actually ahead of us. Sets another fastest lap of the race. 4 seconds now. We've really got to get some pace now to be able to catch back up to them. At 2.8 seconds to Russell. We're getting close. I think we're just going to have to burn a lot of this battery right now. But they're still DRSing each other away from me. Come on, let's go. We can see them. They're so close. In the DRS of Russell. Let's go. Come on. Pick up a monstrous exit from that corner. We're going to be low on battery. We don't even get the DRS. Despite our effort in the corner, we didn't get the DRS. Like how much time they gain on the straight just by DRSing each other. They gained half a second. Oh, Russell went deep though. We got DRS. Let's go. Come on. I really hope they stay side by side into turn 1. We've got no battery. We need to save battery desperately. Russell went deep again. Hamilton's trying to do the switchback. There's yellow flags up ahead. There's a Ferrari out. Oh my god, who is it? It might be Carlos Sainz. We could be racing for P4 here. It is Carlos Sainz. Can't imagine there'll be a safety car at this stage in the race. Fighting the car in the dirty air for the first time in a little while there. Hamilton's looking around the outside of George Russell into the banked left-hander. Down a few gears into 4th gear. Let the car rotate through. Hard on the power car, squirming around, gaining a little bit more battery. The AI fighting off the Mercedes. Hamilton and Russell side by side, dueling it out. Meanwhile, we're trying to hang on, big oversteer. Hitting the DRS on this straight for the first time in a long time. Russell, Hamilton, almost going side by side. Look at this slipstream we're picking up from the 2 Mercedes up ahead. Down 2 gears into 6th gear. Early on the power, 15% of the battery. We wouldn't deploy anything down here, we don't think so. Hard in the DRS, hard in the slipstream, hard on the brakes now. Down into 3rd gear, looking to square off the exit. Pick up a beautiful traction. Who's going to have DRS? George Russell or Lewis Hamilton? Hamilton does not have the head DRS. George Russell has the DRS. And now we're going to deploy the battery, trying to get on the inside of both Mercedes. Deploying the battery and expertly timed. Now we just have to get it slowed down for turn 1, what we just about do. And we are into P4 here in the Saudi Arabian GP. Second to last lap of the race. It's not over right now. We still need to try and push. Build this gap will not be easy. Russell. Super fast. I think Hamilton's on the oldest tyres of our slot here. George Russell's looking around my outside. He backs out of it. We resume back to the racing line. Trail break off. Look early as possible on the power. Squirming around right up against the wall. Down 2 gears into 5th. Short shift to 7th. You can see rear traction really limited right now. But was fighting for P5 and now turned to P4 due to the technical failure of Carlos Sainz. Down 2 gears. Early in the power. I want to try and save my battery for the final lap. I don't want to get overtaken by Mercedes, but I don't think I have much choice. George Russell gets stuck up behind us. Hamilton's coming with a DRS. George Russell's going to be clear of us into the braking zone. Can we go down the inside? We think about it. We just about get cut off. George Russell was not falling for any of those games. We will have the DRS though. On to the final lap of the race. Hamilton's coming past. He's attacking us. He's looking to the outside. We've got the DRS wide open. George Russell goes defensive. We're going to go to the inside. 100-meter board. Spot the braking. George Russell, we're 3 wide. We have to leave the space on the outside. And you can see the AI is still fighting around the outside. We've held the position 3 wide through turn 1. That was incredible scenes. George Russell looking to the outside, but nothing doing there. Short shift to sit. Try and keep the power pinned. Pinned, lift through here. The grip is not available. Get as close to the curbing as possible. The front tyres starting to wash out as we have the tyres degrading rapidly on these final laps of the race. George Russell not able to attack us through the sequence of corners down to 4th gear. Smooth on the power. Watch out for the snap and rotor steer as you come over the crest of the banking. 1/10 to George Russell down to 5th gear. Use up the curb on the inside, fully committed. I don't want to use my battery down here. If George Russell overtakes me here, I'm not too worried, as that can give me an ideal place. But if Lewis Hamilton overtakes me, that's going to put me in a really bad place. Lewis Hamilton's looking at the inside. This is not good. He backs out of it just. But costs us a lot of momentum to George Russell. 4, 5 tenths away now. Deploying the battery. We're hungry. We want this P4. We're running out of battery, though, in the slipstream of George Russell. Coming up to the final corner. George Russell got out of battery. We're going to send it down the inside. We just about get it stopped. And it's going to be a drag race to the line. We're not going to have the DRS. Lewis Hamilton's going to have the DRS. Both the Mercedes are going to have the DRS. Lewis Hamilton makes a mistake. He stays behind us. And we're going to get P4 on the line. Wow, 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 what a final few laps that was of the Saudi Arabian GP. Jesus, whoa. Wow, wow, wow. So here we are back towards the team headquarters after that race, picking up another P4, so close to that podium in terms of results. And we're dropping back even on the car performance comparison, now behind Haas and McLaren. So we're going to need to put on some new upgrades ahead of the Australian GP to be able to keep up to date with our rivals. We're currently sitting P5 in the Drivers' Championship with Charles Leclerc leading, P4 in the Team's Constructors' Championship, fighting Aston Martin, and we maybe can be fighting Mercedes later on in the season. That is to be seen, to be known in the future. But I want to say thank you so much for watching. I've been Brendon Leigh, and I will see you next episode for the Australian GP. Thanks so much for watching. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.